I've been on YouTube for about a month now, and I'm kind of checking in with where I'm at and how my process has gone. And what I've learned is that my videos are not that overproduced, but they are too overproduced for what I'm trying to do here, and as consistent as I want to be, and as open and honest and just sharing of the path that I want to be. When you get into YouTube, you get all these, so many voices of people telling you how to do it, which is, there are so many ways of how to do it, but the way to do it is the way that you want to do it. And I've accepted other people's perspectives, that are more successful than me, like 100% more successful than me. And I don't think they're wrong. I just don't want to do, bait people in the first 10 seconds. I don't want to have thumbnails that I have to have a soy boy face on and open my mouth and be pointing at something. That stuff works. I click on videos that look like that. I just don't want to do that. There's going to be some consequences of that, but I don't want to do it. So I've been away from this for so long. I have been wanting to do this for so long. Why would I not do it the way that is me, the way that I feel? I think we're all called to express ourselves, and not in a self-interested way, but because the expression of ourselves is exactly what someone else needs to see. They don't need to see carbon copied YouTube analytics. This is the way you run things. This is how you do it. And then you shift yourself. I think you ought to lean into some of these tactics of how to structure a story and how to bring an audience along. That's a thing. If you don't know how to speak your message, less people will listen. That's real. But I don't think that you do that on the front end. I think you just start creating, and you just start speaking. And anything in the way of that, I really honestly believe that anything in the way of just creating is noise. Just make. But you really get to see someone's thought process and how they're working through an idea versus just constant presentation of, I'm a guru, this is the thing to do, I've structured this thought, now think like me. Being able to pull all these analogies, together and stories like instantly. And I'd love to be able to do that. I think I can do that, but currently that's not in my hands. It's not, I can go learn to shoot threes, but I presently can't. And if I'm waiting for my ability to shoot threes to play basketball, I might never play the sport. I might never get started. And therefore might not ever actually be able to shoot threes. Partly what we're here for is to share the growing of my business, Creative Supply, which is launching a podcast sometime, hopefully soon. And, I don't even have a logo for it yet. I have a lot of things that I'm working through on this whiteboard here that I'm going to take you through here in a moment, like projects that I'm doing that make money today, because I have dug my family in a hole over the last couple of years, figuring my life out. My wife has given me so much grace. My family has given me so much support. It's time to buckle up, figure this bleeping crap out. It's time, and I am ready. What that means, if I haven't explained it enough yet, though, is that my video style is changing, and I'm going to turn back into just stream of consciousness, updating you, sharing with what I'm at. I do have all these plans. I have all these scripts, man. I can show you in my Notion, like what I plan for YouTube, like this project management thing. And there's a lot of cool stuff in there. But if I get stuck on making that stuff, then I won't push forward in what my future is. I'll be stuck explaining my past to you and going through all my old stories, which are so valuable and there's a lot of good stuff there. And it's not because I'm self-interested. I just know there's a lot of people that struggle and deal with stuff that I've dealt with. And there's a lot of help and a lot of healing that can be, that we can work through, going through that stuff. But if I don't share with what I'm doing now, then then I think that's literally the point of this, is to share videos like this where we're just rolling through stuff. I wish I had that when I was building stuff in the past. I think it would have helped me process. I think it would have helped me refine. I think it would have helped me avoid some relationships that I shouldn't have gotten into. So, the business is launching a podcast. Creative Supply is launching a podcast that will have a creative audit where we just, we go through what builds the creative, mental health, physical health, spiritual health, and your soul, like your creative soul. Like, how are you actually fulfilling that? How are you tapping into that? How are you making sure that that this thing isn't dead, or well, I used to do that. Like, how are you keeping it alive? How are you being a kid? To how people actually live, how they actually make their living creatively, in media, in fine art, all these places, how they actually make it work. Do they have 6 jobs on the side they never post about, never share about? And I hope that people want to come on the show and get help and how to move forward and help share their story, testimony, if you will, of their craft and of their position in life, to help other people really kind of see what's available and what options are out there. And I got sold that there was like 2 options. That's truly what I believed. That's why I went to college, because I believed that there was 2 options. This is how you actually make money in life. Go to school. And then there's other ways of not making money, of going to job, factory to factory. And I didn't believe in myself entrepreneurially. I didn't believe in myself in just what was available and what jobs were coming online and how the world was shifting to video and media. I didn't know any of that stuff. And I think there's a lot of resources out there and people helping people. Personally, for me, I want to hear from people directly, and I want to get into the meat exactly. I don't want drawn out statistics. I want real, tangible stories of people's real life and how they have built what they've built, or how they're building what they're building. Man, we got to work on how we explain this. So for me to share my story is, yes, I want to launch this business tomorrow, but I can't. It doesn't even have a logo. I'm working on the mission statement. I'm still working on like the core structure of the business. It's this baseline is this podcast that has a creative audit in it and how we work through that. But structuring the podcast, doing all these things, these are things that are still on the to-do list. They are not to done. And where I'm at right now is my family needs income. We need money. And I am not going to work at Rudders. I'm not going to a gas station. I'm building this freaking business, and we're making this happen. It's time. It is time. And some projects are coming online here to help me with that. And I have a video project. I'm looking behind here on this whiteboard. A video project. I have 2 websites, UGC requests, and user-generated content. So a brand reached out. I don't know how, but they did. Just in my first couple of videos on YouTube, and been making them some ads. They won't be in my videos. They'll be in. They're going to take these ads and run with them on a campaign. And I'm going to the Redwoods to film a couple elope. And then there is a event photography project. Over the next 2 months, just reading down the list again here. It's going to take me, or it'll bring me, my family, like $15,600 pre-tax, pre-giving, pre some expenses. So sure, that might sound like a lot of money to you. I mean, it is a lot of money, but take into account how this business works. It has, for me, it has these, this middle of the road kind of stuff, and then a balloon, and then back down. And the balloon gets depressed out over the months where you don't make a lot. So that's not typical for me. There are these few balloons in a year, and then you try and survive between them. We're working through that. That's been my entire existence in this field creatively. And I've seen all the people's advice, and advice only goes so far. You have to believe it, you have to choose, and you have to take action. And there are a lot of things that I haven't done to properly implement people's advice. So to keep myself accountable, that's what I'm doing this for. That's why I'm changing the format back to something that's more stream of consciousness, bringing people along for the journey, because that's what I have time for. To keep everything else moving, all the plates that I have spinning, to make sure my family is operating and eating, and which is kind of important. These have to get back to like a journal entry. And I hope that's helpful. I think it will be helpful. Thank you for the opportunity to share my story. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.